A legislative committee in Virginia in the United States unanimously approved a bill calling for local public schools to identify the waters between Korea and Japan as both the East Sea and the Sea of Japan.
미국 버지니아 주의회에서 공립학교 교과서에 동해와 일본해를 같이 표기하는 법안이 만장일치로 가결됐습니다.
Tens of thousands of Thai citizens, opposition party members, and civic activists began a strike that is part of what is being called the Bangkok Shutdown, which is meant to expel the influence of former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, as well as call for early elections.
태국 방콕에서 13일 탁신 친나와 전 총리 세력의 퇴진과 조기총선 연기를 요구하는 야당 및 시민 등 수만 명이 교통과 정부 운영을 마비시키겠다며 방콕 셧다운 시위를 벌였습니다.
The Ministry of Education announced yesterday that it will look into ways to reform the publication system of Korean history textbooks as well as consider switching the responsibility over to the government.
교육부는 13일 한국사 교과서 발행 체계와 관련 국정 전환을 포함해 근본적인 교과서 체제 개선 방안을 검토하겠다고 밝혔습니다.
The National Tax Service announced yesterday that a year-end tax adjustment simplification process that will allow income earners to easily handle year-end tax adjustments.
국세청은 근로소득자가 편리하게 연말 정산을 할 수 있도록 오는 15일부터 2013년 귀속 연말 정산 간소화 서비스를 제공한다고 어제 밝혔습니다.
The Community Chest of Korea announced that the organization has gathered 316 billion and 200 million won, and it's the largest total amount of donations since 1999.
사랑의 열매 사회복지 공동모금회는 지금까지 모인 성금이 3,162억 원으로 1999년 연말연시 캠페인 이후 역대 최고 모금액이라고 어제 밝혔습니다.
With Korea steeped in another trend of health and diet foods, tea imports rose sharply last year, according to data released by the Korea Customs Service on Sunday. 8,234 tons of tea were imported here last year. Nearly double that was imported back in 2009. While imports of the old standby, instant coffee, have not dried up, they have dropped almost 2,000 tons last year, from 8,937 tons to 6,990 tons. A customs official also noted that while demand for instant coffee is waning, Koreans have acquired a taste for high-end coffee brands. The scientific journal Environmental Science and Technology recently reported findings from British researchers saying that while the positive mental effects of getting a raise or promotion tend to be short-lived, living in an urban area with more green spaces had a more lasting effect on mental wellness. Data collected from about 40,000 households found that well-being levels often drop back down to baseline 6 months to a year after raises, promotions, marriages, and even winning the lottery. However, people who had moved to areas with more green spaces, such as parks, showed elevated happiness and lower stress even 3 years later. An author of the study said that while it may not be the be-all and end-all, living near parks could tip the balance in favor of living a happier life.